How engineers do it.
Before we start today's video, I would like to ask all my viewers to subscribe to my YouTube channel How Engineers Do It. So share the video among all of your friends and also hit the bell icon to never miss another update.
Hello friends, this is Mohammed Shakil here from How Engineers Do It, and in this video we're going to see how we can create a simple dashboard using a source data. So on the left side we have the source data and on the right side we have the simple dashboard. So let me explain you what the data is. So this is a random data and I've just created it based on a couple of Hollywood actors and the number of years over here. Or we can understand or read the data that these actors have done these movies in these years. So that's how we read the data over here. So as you can see over here, if we were to see the data like this, for example, we had maybe 50 years data or something, and we want to focus on one data and we want to see how that particular year, how these actors have performed. It's difficult to see that. That's the reason always it's good to see data in graphical format. On the right side we have the dashboard, and let's quickly see how does it read. Now if I just move it to different years, I can see 2007, you can see that the data is dynamically moving. And if I just move it to 2010, you can see that Tom Hanks had the highest number of Tom Hanks and Eddie Murphy had the same number of movies. So you can just see 2006, you had Nicolas Cage had the highest number of movies, something like that. Alright, you can do this. I've just taken this example so that I can explain you in a better way. You can always relate this kind of a graphical representation to your work and see how this can help your work. In order to start with, I'm just going to add a new Excel sheet and I'm just going to copy this source data. Just going to put it over here, and similarly I'll create a partition here for better understanding, and also I'll just copy this year part. Alright, dashboard and source data and all that, it's okay. I'll just keep this here, and you can see the first thing over here is you have different option to select from. So let's first create that. That's called as data validation. So you go to data and go for data validation, select data validation and go for list over here and select the source and drag over here and click on OK, and you will be having the data validation over here. Now you can by default you can select the 2005 from this, and the next thing to do is just copy this part from the source data and paste it over here. So in order to proceed further, there should be some knowledge, the viewer should have some knowledge on VLOOKUP. If you don't have, I'll just explain a little bit of basic on VLOOKUP also in this tutorial. So I'm just going to copy this number of movies part, both of this. Alright, okay, number of movies part. Now basically what should happen is the data over here, whenever I select the different number of years, whatever year I change, the data should populate only on this column. All of this column which we have over here will not come here. Only based on the selection, the data should flow over here. Now what we have to do is you have to use the VLOOKUP, and in VLOOKUP your lookup value is this actor name, okay, and comma table array. Now you have to select that this is your table array that you have to look for that data, comma column index will be, you're starting the table array from here, and your data which you want it to be populated here is a second column. I'll just put second column and then exact match. I'll just close this, and you can see that whatever data I've put over here has come here. Now I'll just drag it downwards. Okay, this is the first thing. Now I'll just for the people who don't know how to use VLOOKUP, I'm just gonna change this to 3. Now what happens if I put it to 3? What happens is the third column is selected here. I'll just put it back to 2. There are a few more things to take care over here. So whenever we would drag a formula, what happens is, if you just double click over here, you can see that the source data selection also drags downwards. So in order to arrest that, what you gotta do is you gotta add the dollar symbols. The easiest way to add dollar symbol is to press F4 key by putting your cursor over there. So just put that, enter, and just copy the same formula downwards. Now if you see, double click, you can see that the source selection is not moving. Again, there is another thing which is moving, in fact, which is the actor, which has to actually move, right? The actor name has to actually move. If I freeze this, every time the data will fetch for Russell Crowe only. So this should move, I shouldn't freeze this. Alright. Now that is that. Now the next thing to do is, in order, you can see that 2005 it's correct. 2005 it's fetching correctly, but if I put 2007 or 2008, it's not changing as per the table which you have here. So in order to do that, you have to link this this particular year and fetch the data from this table. So we'll see how we can do that. So what we do is, whatever we are doing only for the first cell, and then we are dragging it downwards. So that's the simple funda we are using here. Now I'm just double clicking over here, equal to if, and I'll just open the bracket, and what I do is select this selection which we usually change, and then what I do is put equal to 2005. Then what happens, this selection will prevail, right? So I'll just put a close bracket here. Okay, now I'll just drag it downwards. You can see that the false is coming. Whenever false is coming, in order to understand it quickly, what we do is we'll select, double click over here. You can see that M6, this selection has moved downwards. So the if should actually remain here, it should be locked. So what you do is double click over here and put a dollar over here as well. Now if I double click, if I drag this downwards or double click it, you can see that correct data is coming. So what previously happened was this, if this particular cell equals 2005, but when I was dragging it downwards, what was happening was this column, this particular cell was actually moving downwards. Alright, now that's the second thing. Now this is the last step of our tutorial. So what we do is we take this whole part and we put Control C. We'll remove the last bracket, comma, we put Control V, and here we just change it to 2006, and here we change it to 3. Alright. Now again, Control V, you need a comma here, and here we change it to 2007, and here we change it to 4, and again Control V, here we change it to 2008, and here we change it to, what was our previous number, 4, so this will be 5, comma, Control V, 2009, here it will be how much, 6, here again comma, Control V, 2010, and this will be how much, 6 and 7. Okay, now I just put couple of close bracket and put yes, and that'll work. I just drag it downwards, and now if you put 2008, it's fetching from the 2008 column. If I put 2010, it's gonna fetch from 2010 column. So that part is done. I'll just drag it downwards and create a table here. And finally, what we do over here is equal to repeat. REPT is the key to use. I, comma, number of times to repeat will be 6, right? That 6, I'm selecting it from the cell so that it'll be dynamic. Alright, now what I do is I'll go for MS Outlook. Should be, yeah, small I. So basically this is the I, right? But if I change it to MS Outlook font, it changes to this, right? So that's what I did. It's nothing big. I'll just drag it downwards. I'll put a border over here, and you can see that if I keep changing the year, the data is also, the graphical distribution is also going to change dynamically. So that's it about this video. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you would like to see more of this kind of videos and tips and tricks, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much and stay tuned.